Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well today. Thank you to our old viewers and our new viewers. Hold on. There. That makes it a bit easier to read the chat. Like I said, thank you to our old viewers, new viewers, those who are welcoming us back into their lives after a little while away. I'm looking at you, Viking. And also, Cellulite Yoga Pants. Hello, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Uh, I scrolled up to the top of the chat. Who am I saying hi to? Vicky, Billy, Sashina, um, Credence and Mikey was here early. Jonathan Hart, Denali Mike. Um, let me go back to the other chat. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm back in Canada. Oh, Iowa Backyard Cam was here. Mike was here. Credence and Mikey, Courtney, Jukebox Cherry, Viking Web Productions, Jonathan Hart, Melanie Copeland, Lisa Figalicious. Who else? Cellulite Yoga Pants. Um, Vicky Pathless. Sorry, I'm a little tired today. Beverly Bradford's here. I'm scrolling. William and Holly are here. Grammy Rita's here. Uh, 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 Courtney's here. I think I said that. Jukebox Cherry, Sashina. We're almost at the bottom. That's what she said. Streamlabs. Yeah, you're here. Um, yeah, that's it. That's all so far. So please make sure you've clocked in for your shift by hitting the like button. It's very helpful, and I'm very thankful for it. Free way you can help me out. There are KCC chips now. The gambling is still hot and fun, Viking. We have a lot of um, fun commands going here, and I did not sleep last night while traveling, so you'll have to forgive my tired look. Also, like I said earlier, I'm getting used to being back in Canada. I do love Canada a lot. I say begrudgingly. Um, but it's cold and not sunny. I don't know. The vibe's different. Anyways, we'll see. We'll talk about it later. I am working on getting back into the grind of living here, which is weird because it's not a grind, that's the thing. But it is a particular place to live. Also, the service does suck here. It's just the truth. The service sucks. Already my favorite hotel that I've stayed at emailed me like a personal email thanking me for my stay. I was like not a form letter. Like the girl knew. She wrote shit. I was like, God. Oh, they build good brands. They give good or make me be loyal. Anyways, regardless, we do have Court. I've already downloaded it. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna do that for now because I'm a little bit tired. We're going to Judge Anzalone's court. Oh, T-Rex is in Nebraska. What do they have in Nebraska? What's Nebraska's thing? Also, if you drink this really fast, it tastes like water, like fizzy water a little bit, but not enough. I just want fizzy water, but I wasn't smart enough to go get that. I'm just looking. I'm like, did I have some over there that I didn't even see? The My Fetish Girls book. Oh, I think that's a collector's item. Uh, Nebraska is flatter than Iowa. Beverly says you had rain all day yesterday and some of today. It's also only 50 degrees. It is currently, we're going back to Canadian lessons, so I understand it now. How weird. It's 58. It feels like 58 is what it says about where I am right now. The next 10 days are rain, rain, rain. That's the way it is. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, oh, you can't see it here. I got a hat in Florida. Canadian bag. I love all the commands. One day we gotta make an actual list of them so that we can remember them. Hi, Mike. Thank you for welcoming me back. Florida, isn't that cute? I think this is cute. But people asked me if I was American on my travels back. So obviously something rubbed off because everybody in the States was like, "Are you from Minnesota or are you Canadian?" Ah, I know, Beverly. I know that's the weather, but I was just sort of hoping like maybe I was just not manifesting the weather properly. And maybe like if I manifested the warm, hot weather, but it didn't work so far. Anyways, like I said, my friends, we do have court to watch tonight. Thank you, previous KCC, for doing some work. Welcome, she says. We do have BC Bud. Again, I should have forced. Oh, also, I don't know. I guess what I bought is not illegal, but I flew with yet another pen. And oh, I did finally get my extra pat down that I'm always asking for. But as I'm at the airport, very excited that they finally have taken me up on giving me my extra pat down, the guy's like, "You've been selected for extra screening." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I know. I hope so. I've been asking this whole damn time." And he like sort of giggled. And no, get this though. So he pulls me over and he's like, I start to do the little, the airport undress that we do, where you start to you feel down your pockets, you feel up yourself. You're like, what did I leave in my bra that should not go through an x-ray machine? All these different things. And, oh, that reminds me of something else that I will tell you in a minute. But, I start doing that. I'm like, "You want me to take off my shoes?" And he was like, "No, leave your things on." And I was like, "Okay, if that's what you want, that's what we'll do." And then he was like, "No, I have a special lineup. You don't get touched. You go through an extra machine." And I was like, "Are you sure that's what you mean by extra security screening? You're not gonna pat me down at all?" He's like, "No, just go stand in the machine, go like this, do that." And yeah, it was a big disappointment, I'm gonna be honest. He shoved his wand deep into my purse, I will say that. I was like, "I do not know what you're looking for, but you're probably gonna find something if you're just gonna shove stuff into my purse." I don't know, man. I cleaned it out a bit, but I don't know what you're swabbing for, so good luck. Anyways, so I believe that it was for something that I didn't ever had, so that's the good news of that one. Um, the other thing is I was trying to figure if it ain't Paisley the Canadian. Yes, Paisley the Canadian. I was also working on being warm when I came back, but I also didn't bring any really warm clothes to Florida, thinking, you got a pat down on the way back to Iowa? Iowa? Is that why your channel's doing so well? Is it like a correlation? You get a pat down and then you glow up? Mike, you're bad. So when I got to Canada, um, I had checked my bags, two of them, big suitcases, to all the way to Victoria. And I ended up bringing my one sweater that I brought with me, and then the rest of it was like summery clothes, except for my leggings. And I am wearing two pairs of pants. I did that as soon as I got into Canada in Vancouver, and I forgot that I was wearing two pairs of pants, like two pairs of leggings, until I was standing outside and I was like, it's really not that cold. Like you're wearing the same clothes that you were in Florida and you're doing fine. And then I was like, oh, you're wearing two pairs of pants. Oh, and you put on an extra shirt. Like, no, not doing fine at all. Totally different. Ugh. I think the extra pants really helped when I was like sitting on the floor of the Vancouver airport last night for a couple of hours. Arizona, how are you doing? Who are we looking for? Me in the Bahamas? Don't come looking. If I get to the Bahamas, y'all better just leave me the fuck alone, okay? Leave me the fuck alone. I will come back. Oh, Lisa, you got to be careful when you travel. Actually, no, I was wearing, actually, there's like this evolution of my traveling self. Sorry, I'm also not used to the noises here again, and it's a little confusing for me. I don't know why. Also, um, I'm pulling out my phone. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. We've been talking for 14 minutes. It is, oh, Iowa. Okay. Okay. Med check. If you guys haven't taken your meds, take your meds. I just remembered y'all should take your meds because I should take mine. Because that's why I just jumped from subject to subject. Iowa, I need to ask you about squirrel size. The squirrels in Canada are big, okay? They're beefy motherfuckers. The squirrels in Florida, I was concerned about. I kept thinking, is did this squirrel escape somewhere and now lives in Florida and is skinny because that's not a place for squirrels to live? Or, but then I kept seeing more and more squirrels. Also, Donna feeds squirrels every day, and even those are skinny squirrels. And my theory is maybe they don't like, do they just eat year round? They don't hibernate or anything like that? So they don't have to tack on the poundage in the summertime? It's my only theory because the squirrels here are fucking beefy and mean and they throw things at you. I've told you guys about the time the squirrel threw plums at me and hit the tin roof. Year round eating for you too, Iowa? Oh. So does that make them skinnier all year round? More like a lean diet as opposed to fat? Also, I've had to now immediately it took me about a week to get used to the fact that everything moving out of the corner of my eye was, in fact, a lizard in Florida. If in doubt, it's a lizard. It's a lizard. It's running away from you. It's running up there. It's running over there. It's a lizard. Um, in Canada, where I live, those are leaves. They're always leaves being blown in the wind. It's never been a lizard till I went to Florida. Then it was always a lizard, freaked me the fuck out. Now, again, back, leaves are blowing around and I'm freaking out like it's lizards again. So, hi, Dana. Welcome, welcome. We're talking about squirrel size. We're taking our medication. We're about to watch some court. I've just gotten back from a long trip and I'm a little bit tired. They're lizards. I don't know what they are. The lizards, Iowa, I got a bunch more videos. I got to send you some. I got videos of raccoons, cats, lizards, that weird fly that we tried to identify, a bunch of different ones. I should send them over to your channel for you to add to your little collection. Okay. Ugh. Squirrels are bigger than 6 inches, so technically they should be adequate. Hey, listen, you and I both know that 6 inches is actually way more than adequate. And it's not how much you got, it's how you use it. Regardless, let's watch some court. Like I said, previous Paisley actually worked and downloaded this, so we're going to watch it. Make sure that you would catch lizards and use them as earrings, Mikey? What do you... Now you're probably joking with me. How... You'll have to explain the joke to me. I don't get it. Plus note, my nails are still doing well, so I'm still feeling... They bite your earlobes and... Hold on! Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. She's a maker. You guys, it's like a reunion. I love having y'all here. Thank you for being here. Crab spiders. I don't think so, Denali. Mike, did I? Would we see them? It's on the TikToks. Oh, fuck. Well, you know I'm not on the TikToks. But the young people tell me these days I should. You know. But I'm old, so I'm not gonna. Mayor's here. Did I miss Mayor earlier, or did you just get here, Mayor? I'm Mayor. Okay. Like I said, court. You're all over TikTok, but not by choice. Melanie, unless you're talking about scrolling TikTok, that's a humble brag and you got to share your handle so that we can go and assess if you're all over TikTok or not. But if you're just talking about being addicted to TikTok and like scrolling, or are you telling us that your kids have made you famous? This better not be a fucking interpreter case. I'm not joking. I'm not set up for that today.
All right, so Mr. Bruggeman, start with the first one. I have Aaron Barron. Stephen Malt. I have a couple devices with no names. Let's see what I got.
Look at that epic beard that guy has.
All right, I have a gentleman wearing a black t-shirt with a beard. What is your name, please?
Mr. Wilt, Stephen Wilt.
All right, that was a good guess on my part. All right, this is in the matter of Erin Elizabeth Barron versus Stephen Keith Wilt, file number 22-50194 DP, and Mark A. Bruggeman, P66065, appearing on behalf of the prosecutor's office.
Oh, right. These are paternity hearings. So I believe we are going to find out if he is the father. That's what we've got, Maury style.
Front of the court. This is the date and time scheduled for motion of entry of order on a judgment of support. Ms. Barron, did you receive a copy of the proposed judgment of support? Or Ms. Barron, did you? Yes. Wait. Oh, I don't. She's not connected. No, I don't. Sorry. Hold on. Let me pull her out. All right, we send a chat message to Ms. Barron to connect to audio.
Connect to audio, bitch. Hurry up. Paternity court on regular TV. Yeah, that's fun. This is real court, paternity style.
Ms. McVeigh, can I ask what hearing you're on today?
Okay, I got it.
I am here on the Bradley Wade versus Amanda Strand.
Okay, got it. Thanks. All right, so this is in the matter of Erin Elizabeth Barron versus Stephen Keith Wilt. Ms. Barron, this is the date and time scheduled for entry of judgment. Did you receive a copy of the proposed judgment of support?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, and in that order, it grants you sole physical custody and the parties joint legal custody and parenting time at all times agreeable. So do you object to any of the terms of this proposed judgment?
No, I do not.
All right,
Thus far, this is very good. Not what we normally hear. Court, can you imagine? Oh, Dana, you are not the father. Actually, I've seen that happen in real court. It was fucked up, actually. It was way worse than it is on Maury, because on Maury, the girl knows. Okay. In court, it was, yeah. If only. Oh, if only I had all the old court I used to watch before I started recording it. Also, welcome, Crystal. Thank you for being here. Please clock in for your shift. I'm liking that they're getting along at least. And yes, I am a fan of Judge Anzalone. That's the judge that we have here. She's a no-nonsense candid judge from Michigan. Sorry, I was just saying Minnesota by default. She's from Michigan, as far as I'm aware. And is she Michigan? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's Michigan. Yeah.
Mr. Wilt, you received a copy of the proposed judgment of support.
Yes.
All right, and then it has a number for child support. It also grants sole physical custody to Ms. Barron, joint legal custody, and parenting time at all times agreeable. It does not have a set parenting time schedule. Do you object to any of those terms and want a hearing on them?
I object to the child support due to how much it's taking out.
Okay, do you feel the numbers are incorrect or you just feel that it's too much money?
Numbers are incorrect from what I've received, and it's also
There we go. He's complaining. Should have known. I spoke too fucking soon. It's like when you're working on a shift and you're like, it's so quiet. And everyone turns and looks at you like, what the fuck did you just say? And then 32,000 people walk in and your quiet shift is gone. Also, Billy, that's a good point. Blood type is a good way. There's a few combinations it can't be. For example, I have O negative blood. So both my parents have O negative blood. And in fact, my daughter has O negative blood. And so that means that my ex-husband has O negative blood as well, which is weird. Quite rare.
with money.
Okay, well, what I can do is mark the box that says at the time of entry of judgment, the defendant has disputed the child support amount. So I'll mark that box. What'll happen is that a front of the court hearing will be scheduled and you will receive notice of that in the mail. They're via Zoom. Sir, are you still in Middleburg Heights in Ohio?
Does Arizona need to refresh? Are you worried about me taking so long on YouTube talking, or just your show hasn't started, Arizona, or you were worried I was overstaying my welcome in the United States?
Parma Heights.
Okay, so you're not.
It's still the same. It's still the same address. I don't. You guys just have it as Middleburg Heights. I don't know why it's that way.
So it should be Parma Heights?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the zip code
Okay.
correct though?
The zip code is correct. Yes, everything else is correct. It just says Middleburg. I don't know why.
Were you getting your mail?
Yes, yeah, I received the mail because there's only one street with my address in Cleveland area.
Okay. All right. So you will receive in the mail, Mr. Brugman will have the staff update that address, but you will receive in the mail a notice of hearing for a front of the court referee hearing. In advance, you will need, it'll give you directions. You're going to need to provide your financial information.
This is
to
not
the
in
front of the
Ohio.
court, and then they will recalculate child support. If again, you don't agree with that number because you think the numbers are wrong, you can object and it'll come in front of this court, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to sign the judgment. I will not sign the order for support. Understand, sir, child support is ticking, so I would advise you, it's probably in your best interest to put that money away every week until it gets entered, because if it's not being taken out of your paycheck, because you don't want to start out with a big lump sum, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so very good. All right, I wish you both the best of luck. Mr. Bruggeman, anything else you wish to add?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so just keep an eye out for that. Thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we will see how that one goes.
Kyle and Andrea.
The judge is in
Both
Michigan, I think, Bev.
Oh,
I like facial hair, but not like that crazy amount of facial hair. That was a lot. Also, the slap fighting thing was
all
awesome.
right,
I rewatched it later.
Miss Edwards, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, Kyle Meadows, can you hear me? No, he's not connected. Hold on. All right, Mr. Meadows, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is in the matter of, is it Andrea or Andrea, Miss Meadows or Miss Edwards?
Andrea.
All right, this is in the matter of Andrea Marie Edwards versus Kyle Daniel Jack Meadows, file number 2023-50425DS and 2023-05424DP. I have Mark A. Bruggeman, P66065, appearing on behalf of the Lenawee County Prosecutor's Office, as well as the.
Dana, had you ever watched slap fighting before? I love hearing you say that you're hooked on it. It was really fun to watch. I think Mikey did a great job with it. And I am really impressed. There was a lot of people in there watching that were really engaged that I don't think would normally be watching slap fighting. So I think that's pretty special too. But Dana, you got to tell me, had you watched slap fighting before, or was this your first intro to it? And if any of you don't know what we're talking about, on Credence and Mikey last night, they had a live watch along party for slap fighting, which is a real sport that has rules and all these things. You watch Card-Jitsu and plan to get caught up on the wrestling. That's awesome. Card-Jitsu, yeah, you didn't mishear that. That's a sport as well. So yeah, it was on Poor Sports, and then on the main channel last night. I think it's got over 1,000 views now, which is a great thing for a live event like that. So you watch bare knuckle fighting once in a while, Bev. That's fucking badass. I have to admit, part of me was like, my toxic trait is thinking I could be in the slap fight competitions.
Front of the court, and I have Angela J. Borders, P74471, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff. This is the date and time scheduled for entry of a judgment of support. Ms. Borders, you and your client received a copy of the proposed judgment.
We did.
Ms. Borders, is your client objecting to either the custody or the child support amount or parenting time?
My client would be objecting to the entry of any order that grants Mr. Meadows parenting time at this time. There is a current order of ex parte order.
Oh, Mr. Meadows ain't happy. Did you see his face? Did you see his face? Look, I'll go back a teeny bit and we'll see Mr. Meadows' face. Look, like this.
Is your client objecting to either the custody or the child support amount or parenting time?
My client would be objecting to the entry of any order that grants Mr. Meadows parenting time at this time. There is a current order of ex parte order that was signed by this court on March 16th, 2023 that was not objected to within 14 days. At that time, based on the reasons in the motion that was contained, this court entered an order suspending his parenting time. And therefore that order, I'm asking that order stay in place. It was filed.
So you're objecting? I would just leave it at object. Okay, hold on. Just hold on a minute. Let's see.
Yeah, if any of you didn't do the slap fighting thing last time.
All right, there is an ex parte order, Mr. Brugman, signed March 16th of 2023. That until paternity is established and the court orders otherwise, the defendant shall not have parenting time with Amelia Edwards. Ms. Porters?
Correct.
Okay, well, now we've established paternity, right?
Well, Your Honor, I believe but there has been no motion on behalf of Mr. Meadows objecting to the entry of the ex parte order.
Well, once paternity is established, this ex parte.
There's two children, Your Honor. One was Aurora and one is Amelia. At the time I filed the motion, or I filed a verified motion to suspend parenting time for both children. At that time is when I learned that the state had filed this action. I then followed through with the state on this action so that I can file. I have filed also.
Mayor, you just said, did she say sex parte? And no, she said ex parte. But I had to think, did I say sex parte? Whoops. Hi, Charlene. Welcome. No worries being late. We're barely just getting started. We're just chit-chatting and gabbing. We've also decided that ex parte means sex parte.
So an action for custody that I could not have heard until the state established paternity for Amelia. So
okay, so I do have in the judgment support, Mr. Brugman's document states that Andrea Edwards is the mother of, and Kyle Daniel Jack Meadows is the father of Aurora Moon Meadows. And on 4/25 of 23, he acknowledged paternity of Amelia Marie Meadows. So, okay. So at this point, we do have that. And then you have your verified motion to establish custody, parenting time, and support. And she's asking for primary physical custody. And what is the legal custody she's requesting?
well,
And that both parties have legal custody,
correct.
which is what this friend of the court order states.
But for the fact that it grants him 52 overnights, Your Honor, and that would be my contention at this time, only until the matter can be heard on custody, as he had no parenting time order prior to this.
Your Honor, it doesn't grant 52 overnights. That's just the
It
thing.
doesn't grant.
No, that's what
Yeah.
we use.
So
That's what we use to
hold on,
calculate.
everybody, stop. So parenting time is at all times agreeable, Ms. Borders, in the judgment.
I'm sorry, I was looking at those uniform support order that had it calculated for 52, and if that's just for calculation purposes, I'm okay with it.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Brugman, can I? All right. So, all right. So over to you, Mr. Meadows. Did you receive a copy of the motion of judgment of support?
Yes, I did, and I have several questions about it.
Okay, I already don't like you based upon your voice, and that's mean of me to judge, but I don't. Oh. I just don't like his voice already.
Okay, so I'm going to go through it. One, it calculates child support. One, it gives the plaintiff primary physical custody. And then it gives you joint legal custody and then parenting time at all times agreeable. Do you object to any of those terms?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, which ones do you object to?
For having sole parenting custody, I would like to be in my children's life. I would like to be a father to my children, and she
Okay,
is
so you gotta clarify that. So it grants her primary physical custody. Are you objecting to the primary physical custody?
yes,
Okay, so I'm gonna mark the box that defendant has disputed custody and parenting time. And then in turn, that will mean that you're disputing child support. So I have marked those boxes, and what'll happen at this point is that this will be scheduled for a referee hearing, and Ms. Borders is obviously representing Ms. Edwards and will be present for that hearing. And Mr. Meadows, if you retain counsel, you'll need to have them present. Friend of the court will mail that hearing date out, and those issues will be heard. Now, Mr. Meadows, child support has been calculated. What I will tell you is it may take 6 weeks to get a friend of the court hearing. In that time period, if they're not taking child support out of your paycheck, you need to be putting that money aside, because you don't want to start out with a big lump sum owed. Do you understand?
absolutely, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Borders and Mr. Meadows, you will receive a notice of hearing from friend of the court for a referee hearing that will be held via Zoom. Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
No,
Mr. Brugman, any additions?
Oh, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, very good. I'm gonna date and sign this, and all right, I wish you both best of luck. Thank you.
Your Honor.
All right, let's move on to.
Oh, I love ex parte.
I think I have Brooke and Jonathan Pauling. Brooke Galvin. All right, I have someone who's logged on with the screen name of Brooke. Are you Brooke Galvin?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, yep, I can hear you, and I have somebody
Are you crying, ma'am? You sounded. Yes, can you hear me?
who's logged on with John's iPhone. Would you by any chance be Jonathan Paulding?
Yeah, that's John.
Okay, very good. All right, this is in the matter of Brooke Gelman versus Jonathan Paulding, file number 2023-50648DS. I've marked A. Bruggeman appearing on behalf of Illinois County Prosecutor's Office in the front of the court, P66065. This is the date and time. I think it's file number 23-50648DS. This is the date and time set for hearing on a proposed judgment of support. So, Ms. Galvin, did you receive a copy of the proposed judgment of support?
Yes.
And were you able to review it?
Yes.
All right, do you understand all the terms in the proposed judgment?
Yes.
All right, do you object to any of the terms such as legal custody, physical custody, parenting time, and support?
Can you repeat that?
Do you have any objections to any of the terms in this judgment?
Mm.
What?
Objections to like my
Oh dear. We're gonna have to start explaining what. Oh my God. This woman needs a lawyer at this point. This is why they need everyone to have a lawyer, but this is not. This is family court, so they're not entitled to a lawyer. She is almost more annoying than the other guy. Isn't she? Almost. Not quite, but almost.
Which specific one?
Okay, so there's a term granting you sole physical custody. It grants, let's see, it grants parenting time at all times agreeable. And it, let me see here, custody, parenting time, sole physical. So it grants you sole physical custody, joint legal custody with Mr. Paulding, parenting time at all times agreeable. And then there's a child support amount, and it is $127 a month. Do you object to any of those terms?
Yes.
Okay, which one?
Yes. Did she just say yes? When the judge asked her if she objected? Oh, God.
Probably the parenting time. Just because we
Okay.
had an agreed, like,
She didn't hear. The parenting time was as agreed upon mutually. And see, that's why I like Judge Webster in Texas, because he always adds a little caveat to that, right? At all times mutually agreed to by the parties. If no mutual agreement exists, they will follow this parenting plan. And then he puts it in. And that's good, because this lady is fucking so dumb. She's objecting to something that's good for her. That tells me she ain't maybe listening or looking out for the kids, you know?
situation with what we wanted to do.
What is it you've agreed upon?
We both agreed to do week on, week off with each other.
Take it back.
Mr. Bruggeman?
Your Honor, I think it, to have something set, it would, my recommendation would be to go to the front of the court and have that set is an agreement. And they can go from there. Because that would also adjust the child support amount.
Okay, so what we're gonna have to do it, Mr. Paulding, do you agree with her statement?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna mark a box on here that says both of you object to custody and parenting time and support. So what'll happen is you can do one of two things. You can contact your caseworker for friend of the court, but you're gonna get in the mail a notice to appear for a referee hearing via Zoom, okay? And when you go to that hearing, Mr. Paulding, you guys can put on the record that you have this agreement for week on, week off, and that they will recalculate child support and then put that into an order, and you guys can agree to it on the record, okay?
Okay.
All right. So it's really important, if you move, you need to contact friend of the court or stop by and give them your updated address. If you don't get a notice for that hearing in the next like 3 weeks, you need to come up to the courthouse and just make sure that they got your right address. All right. It's really important that you go to that hearing. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're all set today. You'll get a notice of hearing in the mail from the friend of the court. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you both.
You have a great.
Thank you.
Everybody objects today, poor judge.
All right. Miss McGreen, would it be possible to tell the jail that I do my pickups? All right. So what else do we have?
My tired brain just heard her say, hey, would it be possible to tell the jail to line up my bumps? Obviously, that's not what she said. Oh, dear.
All right. In the matter of Anna Cabbies, Kabbes versus William James Dune. Neither of which are in my waiting room. I also have an attorney. I don't know who that is. Let me bring them in. Ms. Thompson, what case are you coming in on? Oh, McKean versus Jordan.
Yes,
All right. Do you and Ms. Borders need a breakout room?
no.
Okay. All right. File number 23-50567 DP. Neither Ms. Cabbies nor Mr. Dune have appeared. I have a summons. I do not have. Yes, I do. I have a certificate of service showing that on June 15th of 23, Mr. William Dune was served with the paperwork and notice to appear today. So Mr. Bruggeman is appearing on behalf of the prosecutor's office in the front of the court, P66065. Mr. Bruggeman?
Your Honor, this is the date and time set for Mr. Dune's paternity arraignment. As you indicated, we do have good proof of service and it's in the file, and he was notified of today's hearing. Based on his failure to appear, we move to enter a default judgment finding him as the father. Also, for the record, there is a second case with the same parties with a second child. That is a DS case where paternity is already established. Once we establish paternity by way of this default, these two cases will be combined.
All right, very good. Thank you. And I will sign that on for presentation. All right, so now we have Jennifer Marie Grubbs versus Braxton Russell Garza, file number 23-50608. Neither party is present in my waiting room. I have Mark A. Bruggeman, P66065, appearing on behalf of the prosecutor's office in the front of the court. We do have valid service showing that copy of the proposed judgment was mailed to each party by first class mail on June 26th. That's well over a couple weeks ago. They live locally in the county. He was served paperwork on this file on May 16th at 2:45 p.m. So both parties had notice of today's hearing and both parties have failed to appear. So, Mr. Bruggeman?
Your Honor, as you indicated, this is the date and time set for our motion for entry of the order. You also correctly indicated that we do have good proof of service on the file and neither party has appeared.
Well, congrats to Miss Peach if that's what's happened. Great job. Great job. Keep it up. You guys know that. This is our Sunday Court Watchers Anonymous meeting, but we don't require you to be sober from court. We don't really require you to be sober. We don't even require you to watch court here, but it's our cover. But seriously, all jokes aside, weird. My brain doesn't work if I say all jokes aside. That's weird.
Today's hearing was scheduled for 8:15, is now 8:45. We ask that based on their failure to appear, that our order be entered as presented.
All right, very good. I have signed the proposed judgment and order for support. Thank you. All right, let's see. And I think that leaves us with McKean. All right, in the matter of Jasmine Michelle Carver versus Carrie Alexander McQueen. Carrie, maybe? I got that person. Got me confused, Miss Borders. I got McKean and McQueen, but all right.
Lightning McQueen?
Carrie McQueen. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Is your first name Carrie?
Correct.
Correct. I'm sorry. Let me write that down. Got it. All right. So this is in the matter of Jasmine Michelle Carver versus Carrie Alexander McQueen, file number 23.
Hold on. Isn't Alexander McQueen isn't that the middle name of Lightning McQueen? Or who is that? Yeah, cough, cough, cough. Exactly, Viking. I've been in Florida for 3 weeks, okay? Towing the line because we watch so much Florida fucking cop cam. I mean, barely towing the line, but still. Yeah.
50743 DP. Sir, this is date time set for an arraignment on paternity. Mr. Brugman, I'm assuming since he's here, there's a proof of service making it to me. I just don't have it on the file yet. So it'll get over here. But Mr. McQueen, you were served with a copy of the petition. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, and in that paternity complaint, it alleges that you are the biological father of the minor child, Isabel. Mr. McQueen, you have the opportunity today to do a couple things. You can acknowledge paternity and claim the child as your own, or you can request that a paternity test be done.
Ooh, what's he gonna do, guys? Is he going? Okay, that's in the chat right now. Get your votes in. Is he going to request a paternity test, number one, or is he gonna let it roll and just knows that was his cum? Number two, test, test, test. I'm seeing test. Also, Lisa, planning on quitting smoking. Very proud of you. It is not impossible. Don't build it up to be impossible or hard. You can absolutely do it, and I'll tell you why. I did it. I used to smoke a pack a day, but a long time ago, to be honest. But I quit. I used silly putty because I was pregnant, so I couldn't use like nicotine patches or nicotine gum. So I used silly putty to keep my hands busy and sheer willpower and community shame. Those were the 3 ways for me to quit smoking. The patch is good, but what I would remind yourself is allow yourself a lot of humility and grace. Some people want to, when you're community shame, Lisa, by that I mean when you're pregnant, people don't like you to smoke. So I didn't want to be out smoking. Vicky, please look into it. At least in Canada and in some places, I know they give away that as smoking cessation aids through the state or through the province for free. So please look into that. There might be a program for quitting smoking that you might not know about, but a lot of states have those programs and they will cover the cost of those things. So look into that because it is a great way of helping cut back. Alternatively, you can also do the vaping thing. I recommend if people want to quit smoking cigarettes and go on to vaping, that you can do that and you just, vape away and do that. But if you're trying to quit nicotine altogether, then definitely look into any assistive programs from the state because, well, maybe they don't care, but here in Canada, they care. They want you to quit smoking. I think I could go get free nicotine cessation products, even though you can buy them across over the counter, like Nicderm and nicotine patches and stuff. I believe that there's a program to pay for them. I don't know why that rings to me. And yeah, the vaping is worse because the nicotine quality. I recommend though an aromatherapy vape. When my daughter, who's a young teenager, and her friends got into vaping, I realized like they want to be cool, they want to look like other people, and I can't really. I'm like sitting there giving her a talking to about vaping while I have one in my hand. And of course, mine's not nicotine, mine's weed, but it's still regardless. So I went and sourced out some aromatherapy only vapes that didn't have any glycol, like gross shit in them, or chemicals. They were from a local company. And that hand to mouth sort of thing is really good for some people. And for the kids, I mean, it gave them sort of this out of looking cool without damaging themselves in the same way. Not saying vaping's great. I know it can be bad. I source these products properly from a local lady. Anyways. But yeah, look into help. And let's keep watching. We have one more docket of hers after this, and then we'll call it a night. But we'll go. I mean, we've already been going an hour. It'll probably end up being almost 2, I guess. As I said, it was going to be done. I mean, I quit cold turkey basically. Like I said, silly putty. Yeah, Billy Elliot, I have heard about the assisted it's called MAID, Medical Assistance in Dying bill in Canada, MAID. There's a lot of nuances involved with that, especially with the VA, and they've recently rolled back on a lot of those things, so they don't qualify anymore. So, there was a lot of pushback when that happened. So that is no longer the status of that program in Canada. Medical assistance in dying is important for people with truly debilitative conditions that will never get better. But I've said this many times before, don't you dare fucking unplug me, because with my luck, the next day they're gonna be like, well, we fixed that. We know how to fix it now. Oh, you guys unplugged her yesterday? Okay, whatever. And yeah. So keep that in mind.
Either way is fine, whatever you would like. How would you like to proceed?
I'm kind of undecided, honestly. Like, I've talked with Jasmine prior to all of this about us signing the affidavit of parentage, and she was resistant up until literally right before she filed the paperwork, which was, at the middle of last month.
Mr. McQueen, let me interrupt you and just give you a little advice. If you don't have a paternity test now and a certain period of time passes, it's really hard to ever go back. So if you have even the slightest concern, it is far better to have the test done and know for sure than to come back years later and question it. So if you want a paternity test, it's absolutely appropriate. So would you like a paternity test?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay, so that's fine. Mr. Brugman?
Your Honor, thank you for that. And also thank you for Mr. McQueen indicating on the record he'd like testing. At this point, we will prepare an order for you to sign that orders genetic testing be performed.
Okay. So Mr. McQueen, I'll sign the order. Mr. Brugman's office will be in contact with you. On your paperwork, you have the office phone number. You can call them as well. They'll set up a date and time for you to come and have a paternity test done. Obviously, it's a swab in your mouth. It's painless. And then they'll set this for...
That's what she said. It's just... Actually, that's what he said. I'm just going to swab it in your mouth. It'll be painless.
Further date after the results are received. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McQueen. You have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Okay. I believe, Mr. Brugman, that does conclude our paternity docket. You have a good day.
Thank you. Unless you have any pickups you'd like me to hang around for.
I do, but I don't know that I'll need you.
And when I heard that, hold on, Judge. When I heard her say pickups, I thought, what? Judge is doing pickup calls, pickup lines? No, not quite. But I did go and find the morning pickups. That's what this hearing is called. Morning pickups. And this will be our last docket item for the evening. It's about 40 minutes plus my talking. We'll be here for another hour at least. Make sure that you've gone ahead and liked this video, subscribe to the new channel. We are on a slow climb to 500, baby, and trying to get this remonetized or get this channel monetized. So every subscriber helps.
Versus Stephen Keith Powell II. We have 3 files. We have 22-20907FH, 22 hold on one second.
That's amazing, Sashina. I'm so happy.
20911FH and 22-20908FH. Wait, one of these. Nope, there's 4 files. And then 22-20912FH. Mr. Powell, this is the date and time scheduled for arraignment on 2 things. One is a contempt of court, and one is a request and summons for probation violation. So on each of these files, we have summons and complaint for probation violation alleging that you failed to report to the probation department on May 2nd or any time thereafter. And then we have a contempt of court for failure to appear for.
Judge, have you been drinking? What did you just say? Failure to appear. Sashina, thank you so much. Thanks for always believing in me. This community does buoy each other up, really. Also, Sashina, you should have a link command for yourself. Somebody drop Iowa's link command because I love that one. It makes me giggle every fucking time. I honestly think this should be the tagline to her channel. Where the critters are paid actors and the cams are covered in peanut butter or something. I love it. Every time I see it, it makes me laugh.
Probation violation hearing on 7/26 of 2023. So we have 2 things. One is a contempt of court that carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail and or a $7,500 fine for failing to report. But on file number 22-20907FH, that is a retail fraud 1st degree case. And the maximum penalty, if you plead guilty or found guilty on the violation of probation on that file, could be up to 5 years in prison. Do you understand that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, and let's go to the next file. So we have the contempt of court and the request and warrant for probation violation on that file as well. And on that file, you are on probation for larceny, 200 or more, but less than 1,000. And that's a 1-year misdemeanor. Is that correct, Mr. Moore?
It is, Your Honor.
Yeah. Okay. And just make sure I have that right. And then on file number 22-20908FH, we have the contempt of court for failure to appear for the probation violation hearing. And then that file is also a larceny, 200 or more, but less than 1,000. So if you were to plead guilty to the BOP on that file, you'd be facing up to a year in jail. Now, on the final file, 22-20912FH, we have the contempt of court for failure to appear for the probation violation, as well as the request and warrant for a probation violation. And on that file, you are on probation for weapons, firearms, larceny. So the maximum penalty, if you were to plead guilty or be found guilty on that file, could be up to 5 years in prison. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Powell, you do have the right to have an attorney represent you at this and all subsequent hearings. If you can't afford to hire one, we can appoint you one at public expense. Would you like an attorney appointed to represent you?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to appoint Miss Underwood to represent you. I'm going to open up a breakout room and I'm going to assign you and Miss Underwood to that breakout room. There you go.
God bless America.
All right. And Miss Underwood, there was a message from Mr. Coast. Okay.
Yeah, Judge, that was actually meant for Mr. Malaro. My
Oh,
apologies.
okay. Okay.
Okay, well, if they're just ducking out, that's fine. We can do a little chit-chatting while we wait for them to come back. We'll just listen. We don't have to look, so we can just look at me. I each and everything, thank you for being here. We're not done yet. They're literally, it's still fine. I'll put it on just so y'all don't get me scared. But flags are everywhere in America. You all get free refills on your drinks to go, which baffles my mind. I already miss it so much in such a weird way. Also, I got off the plane in Victoria and I make friends literally everywhere I go. And of course, I met this woman and started talking with her. And she was coming from England, but she was not English. She had a very North American accent. And I was like, oh, where are you coming from? I asked her. She told me England. And then she asked me where I was coming from. I said, I'm coming from Orlando. And she looked at me up and down and she goes, you're American. And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, I know, thank God. And I was like, well, actually, I really liked it. And she was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, it was really great. I mean, the healthcare thing, yeah, that's a problem. But I really liked it. But she sounds like she would fit in on the island where I'm from just perfectly. It was just like exactly what people like here. People from here are like. I apologize. Look at this. Now a view of this courtroom, which looks. Why do courtrooms in churches have the same seating? Pews, it appears. Is it pews? Just north of Seattle. Yeah. It is sad. Oh, hello, lady with very straight hair. Benches? I don't think they're benches. They look to be specifically uncomfortable for a reason. All the praying going on. The courts buy the old ones from churches to save money. That makes sense. I get that. I think they are pews. I think like it's whoever probably built courthouses back in the day was also building churches. I mean, what other buildings were they building?
Oh.
Oh, me too, dude. I've been like seriously traveling for a long time.
All right, Miss Underwood, have you had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Powell?
I have, Your Honor.
And how does Mr. Powell want to proceed today?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Powell wishes to enter a plea in this matter.
Okay, all right. Mr. Powell, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Yes,
can you
ma'am.
state your full name for the record?
Stephen Keith Powell.
All right, so Mr. Powell, you fully understand all the charges against you that I read off?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you satisfied with Miss Underwood as your attorney and the advice that she has given you?
Sure. Yes.
All right. Do you understand that you have a right to contest this violation of probation charge and to have a trial on it? Do you understand that?
I mean, but I did though. I didn't go to probation.
Okay, that's a great way of saying no. I don't understand. Look at her hands. She's like, you were just talking with your lawyer. Literally just talking with your lawyer. Oh, that reminds me. Oh my God. Okay, we used to have a bar in this town or a restaurant. I can't remember what the name was, but it had something to do with sinning. And in the corner of the restaurant, they had a confessional booth that you went in and you knelt in the confessional booth and you wrote down your confession and you could read people's confessions. There was nobody else in there. And then you left them in the book and then would leave. And it was a cool bar slash restaurant. I mean, we went there for lunch a lot because I worked downtown. But that was my first time ever in a confessional.
No, okay, so this is, I'm just going through your rights and I have to read this little script to you and make sure that you understand all your rights. Like you have a right to try, to have a trial, you have a right to plead, so it's okay, I'm just gonna read through it and just respond. So you understand that you have a right to contest the violation of probation charge and the contempt of court and to have a trial on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand if you did have that hearing, you would be presumed innocent until your guilt is proven by a preponderance of the evidence? Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to have all the witnesses against you appear at your trial, to have your lawyer ask those witnesses questions, or you may ask them yourself, and to have me order any witnesses you might have to appear at that trial. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
You do not have to testify at your trial, and no one can say anything about you not testifying or hold it against you in any way. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
You know, I always think that that instruction is so interesting because the negative inference instruction that they give when they can make a negative inference is sort of different. And it's interesting to me that they can't make that a negative inference by them not testifying. I wonder if that's hard for judges. I guess it's sort of like one of the basic tenets of judging.
On the other hand, do you understand that you have a right to testify at your trial if you want to testify?
Yes.
Okay, so on each of these files, how do you plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation by failing to report to the probation department on May 2nd of 2023 or anytime thereafter?
Guilty.
All right. And how do you plead to the contempt of court on each of these files that you failed to appear for the probation violation arraignment as on July 26th of 2023?
Guilty.
Okay. Now, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up the right to have a hearing on these? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Has anything been promised to you to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone threatened you in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
If I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty to these counts?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Mr. Powell, you were placed on probation with Tom Moore from the Michigan Department of Corrections, and one of the requirements is that you were to report as ordered. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So did you report every Tuesday, the first Tuesday, the second Tuesday? When did you report?
The second Tuesday.
Okay, and would you agree that you failed to report on, let me get back there, hold on May 2nd of 2023 or anytime thereafter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, were you incarcerated anywhere?
No, I
Right.
haven't gotten in any more trouble.
Say it again for me, please.
I haven't gotten in any more trouble after this stuff.
Okay, but why didn't you report?
I was going through a bunch.
I'm muted. So in fact, you have gotten in trouble since the report because this in itself is trouble.
Stuff and I should have reported. There's no excuse, but and Tom Moore was more than cooperating with me, and once I missed it and then got the violation, I was just scared. So I just didn't go anymore after that.
You know, if you come in, it's always.
I know, and he was a nice guy. He would have worked with me. I'm a freaking idiot, man. I do stupid shit sometimes, and I don't know why.
Oh, I feel that one pretty deep, buddy. That's honesty. He's being totally honest. I believe every word he just said there. He fucked up one time. Then he did not know how to approach after that. He was worried about it. All of that rings true to me. Sounds like his ADHD.
Okay. All right. Because if you had reported, you probably wouldn't be sitting in jail even if you've done it late. You understand that?
I know.
Okay. So, all right. So then Mr. Moore mailed out a summons and complaint to report for probation violation, and it was scheduled on July 26th of 2023. And you didn't come to that either, did you?
Oh.
Okay. All right. So 2 bad decisions. All right. Okay. So, accept the pleas. They've been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for an updated probation violation report. Miss Adams, when would you like me to set this for sentencing? October 12th or 13th? Is that available?
I'm gonna say the 12th is probably best.
What time?
At 8 a.m.
All right, so I'm going to set this for sentencing on October 12th at 8 a.m. for sentencing. All right, so Mr. Moore is going to do an updated probation violation report, and Miss Underwood will make sure she gets a copy of it. She's really good about getting into the jail to meet with people, but if she's not able to, we will let you talk to her that morning. And then we'll see you back here on October 12th at 8 a.m. for both sentencing on the violation of probation and the contempt of court. All right.
May I have a breakout room, Your Honor?
Sure. Mr. Powell.
So I have to stay in jail until then?
Yes. Mr. Moore, will it be long?
No.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is put you in a breakout room with the probation department. And then if you could let the transport officers know, I'd like to see Mr. Graves next. Okay.
Mr. Graves.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to open the breakout room and put Mr. Moore and you into the breakout room. So there you go.
Judge Graves is also down here though.
No, I can wait after he's done, but he needs to go into a breakout room and meet with Mr. Moore real quick. Okay. Mr. Cunningham, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so it looks like we have a little bit of confusion going on because one of you filed an objection that was supposed to be heard by the referee, and then Judge Oldsaver ordered this case down to the referee. So I'm going to call the case, but we're going to have to schedule it for a date and get you both here. So in the matter of Courtney Smith versus Austin Cunningham, file number 2016-42507DS. So Mr. Cunningham, this was on my docket for 8 o'clock this morning, and neither of you showed up then, but then we looked up to see what was going on, and it looked like there was an FOC referee hearing at 9 o'clock this morning that got canceled. So what I was going to do is schedule a hearing date and mail out a notice to both of you.
Okay.
Because I think there was just some confusion because you had a bunch of different dates going on. So give me just a minute, all right?
Yeah, I called in. Yes, sorry. I called in yesterday and they told me that it was today at 9, even though I thought it was yesterday at 8.
So today at 9 was the referee hearing.
But I had it on my schedule that it was yesterday at 8 o'clock in the morning.
See, I'm so sorry. So give me
No.
just a minute. All right,
Okay.
give me just a minute.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What are you smirking about? What? Take off your hat, dude. What's he talking about?
Oh, she had a referee hearing.
Rookie Zoom mistake. Hot mic.
She has to go to.
I don't understand. Now he muted, but it's still green, which is confusing. You know, I started recording some ASMR content, Sashina. ASMR content. But then I was like, this is actually really hard to do. Did you say recorded the munching of your sheep as mostly ASMR? Us, it's gonna pop up right now, Lisa, when she links it with a slink. No, seriously though, I could do ASMR. It's on the docket, if you will. But I find it so hard to whisper. And every time I move this microphone, it fucks up.
All right, Mr. Cunningham, what time do you get out of work?
I get out at 5. I get home around 6.
What time do you go in then?
I have to be there by 8, but I leave my house at 7. It's an hour drive for me.
All right, so October 23rd, so I'm looking in your file. Okay, so would you be available on October 23rd at 3:30 for an hour?
I can. My boss has no quarrels with me taking a few time off to do this. So
Right, okay, I'm looking, so I have jury trials and let me see here, what's this? Because I have to send out notice. So what I'm gonna do is set this over for October 23 at 3:30 for 1 hour. And then that'll be via Zoom. So we'll mail out a notice of hearing to both of you, okay?
all right, I'm gonna write this down. October 23 at 3:30.
Yes, sir.
All righty. I do have one question if you have time.
I may be able to answer it, but if it's too related to the case, I can't without her here. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it has nothing to do with her or that. It's just, well, I guess a little bit. So I've been since July that I've had Lizzie. I'm still paying child support, and I called the clerk's office and asked, and they said I'd have to pay for a lawyer and go through a whole separate thing to get that to stop for now. But having her here and still paying child support to Courtney is difficult because we have a whole nother mouth to feed in the house. I was just wondering, how do I go about possibly stopping that for now?
Okay. Two things. Do you have an arrearage?
No.
Okay. So what the easiest way to do that is come to the courthouse and file an ex parte motion to suspend child support until further hearing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's my biggest reason right now. I haven't been able to get a lawyer because I can't afford it. So
No, that's all right. And I'll have my judicial attorney call down in front of the court too. Okay?
okay, thank you very much, Judge.
All right, thank you. I'll see you back then on October 23rd at 3:30 PM. Okay?
Yep. All right.
right,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much. Have a good
Bye-bye.
day. Bye.
Okay, so Miss Underwood, I have. All right, so Mr. Powell, you are all set. And just
can
let
go?
him know I need Mr. Graves.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
You too.
Mr. Graves. Also, yes, I have been busy.
Your
Also,
Honor, Mr. Graves is Mr. Malaro's case, so I
Yes.
think he is
He's-
going to,
Yeah,
take
Mr.
care of
Malaro
that.
is here.
that is correct.
Thank
I
you,
took
Miss
about
Underwood.
1,000+
Thank you.
pictures on my recent trip.
Becky, I'm just gonna print off a bunch of search warrants. Don't worry about them.
Not of the scenery.
Because there's like more than one.
Did he say dinner? I'm still on East Coast time, which means it's 10 o'clock.
All right, Mr. Graves, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I've been called first. All right, so this is
Wait, what do we think Judge has been called? A bitch? A cunt? I mean, honestly. Oh, maybe she's a real kinky whore and she likes being dirty talked. Oh, Jesus Christ.
in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Elvin D. Graves, file number 23-21428 FH. I have Salvatore Malaro here on behalf of Mr. Graves. Mr. Malaro, there was a message sent from Mr. Coast to you. Did you receive that?
I did, Judge.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Graves, we're here on a motion affidavit and bench warrant that states that the allegations against you are stating that you failed to report to pretrial services coordinator Darren Coast on August 31 of 2023 at 8 a.m. for a drug screen as directed by Judge Anslone. And then you missed your 3 prior drug screens and refused to answer your phone. And all right. So do you understand that is the allegations against you, Mr. Graves?
Yes.
And do you understand that a contempt of court carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail and or a $7,500 fine? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Mr. Malaro, this is still an open file. So, Mr. Malaro, do you have any objection to representing him on the contempt of court?
No objection, Judge.
All right. Would you like a breakout room with him?
Sure.
All right. So, Mr. Graves, I am going to assign you and Mr. Malaro to a breakout room so that you can chat with them for a moment.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And there you go. Go ahead and join that breakout room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, some days we should do an episode where I read out all the commands. That's a good episode we should do. We could do that as a members only, maybe. When we get up to 500. Because there's a lot of commands now. Also, yeah, empty room again. You know, a lot of judges can give breakout rooms. Look at this. Look at this. Do they even come back? Or they've come back and I've missed the whole thing. No? We're at 360? Woo! Also, I didn't want to say anything, but Larry Beaver has been repping the rehab life for a
All
while.
right, we are back
And
on the
remember, it's
record
ex
with
parte
Mr.
with an
Graves.
E.
So, Mr. Graves, you would ask for court-appointed attorney on the contempt of court. Have you had a chance to speak with Mr. Malaro?
Yes.
Are you satisfied
Yeah.
with Mr. Malaro as your attorney and the advice that he's given you?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed on the contempt of court?
Your Honor, we'd stand mute on those allegations, ask the court enter a not guilty plea. He has a pretrial on the underlying case tomorrow at 8:30. We'd ask that this be set at that time, and we'd also like to address bond today.
Okay, so it's set for tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m.
That's what my schedule says, Judge.
All right, so I will set this for pre-trial conference on October 4 at 8:30 in the morning. So, Mr. Coast, you
I think she means
have
November.
a report on Mr. Grimes?
Yeah, Judge, he was actually,
Mr. Graves?
Judge, he was before you back on August 30th because he refused a drug screen. I think I had 3 drug screens that he missed. Wasn't returning phone calls, was arrested on it. You told him to immediately see me the next morning right at 8 for a drug test. Did not show. Tried calling him, wouldn't answer his phone. And to date, he has yet to do a single drug test.
All right, Mr. Malaro?
Yeah, so Judge, you granted him a PR bond on August 30th. He had been in jail for a period of time. So he lacked any funds to drug test, to pay for the drug test, drug screens. He probably, I just advised him he should, when the situation occurs, he should contact our office to gain guidance. He does have in reports to me, he's employed at Hilex, having just obtained the employment a week ago, which means, Judge, if he was only out about 3 weeks without employment. The job is a 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. job. He says he makes $17.50 an hour. So, Judge, I'd ask the court to consider releasing him again on PR bond so he can maintain employment. I would say if the court wants to drug test him today, perhaps that may be the key to his release. That would be what I request at this point in time.
Okay. When were you arrested, Mr. Graves?
I was arrested last night around 3:30 a.m. right after I got out of work.
Okay. All right.
I was arrested at home.
Okay.
Yeah, Judge, if I may, what he described as the arrest was that it doesn't sound like there's charges coming from it. The police were at his residence. He exited the house to see what was going on, and this is what he's reporting to me. The police asked his name and ran it and took him into custody.
Judge, this is the second time he's failed to follow directions. I mean, I'm obviously hoping he remains in jail.
So, Mr. Costa is correct. This is, again, we're
Please,
back.
guys. I know, but I can't lose this job.
Well, Mr.
I
Graves,
know.
this is
I
the
know it's
second
my
time
fault.
you're just refusing to follow my court's order. I let you out.
But Your Honor, I need the meth to do this job. If I can't, do the meth, how will I do the job? Also, Sashina, I think it's set up like that, but that's a great idea. And I'll look into that. Giving KCC chips to new members. When we have a membership, I think we might be able to do that. I know right now for subscribers, it gives a special bonus for when you subscribe. Seriously, this is as usual. The story is, what did we hear? I started last night. That was one of the closest ones we've ever heard. I started last night at my new job. I start on Monday. I have an interview Monday. I just need to give them the paperwork.
Last time, and you promised me you would do it, and we work with people if they can't afford it. So I'm not going to
didn't know
issue on a
that.
bond today. We'll address it again tomorrow morning.
All right,
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Judge, bond is currently set at 75,000.
Yes, cash surety, I think.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so there we go. Look at me, just not paying attention. That's okay because we've already done almost 2 hours, well, an hour and 40 minutes. Plus, by the time I finish talking here, what do we know what's gonna happen? What a wonderful evening we've had. I missed you guys so much, but I'm glad that we're back together. This was a great Sunday Court Watchers Anonymous meeting. We even came up with a great show idea where we're going to read all the commands in the chat together one day. Maybe I'll do some of them in my ASMR voice. We talked about slap fighting. Slap fighting, that was funny and never something I've watched in real, like, as a sport before. But again, as usual, when we hang out with family or our online friends, our chosen family, as I call you guys, makes things that wouldn't normally be fun. Anyways, please remember that I love you, I am proud of you, and I will see you tomorrow, Monday, okay? Video chat Saturday. Lisa wants to do a video chat. We'll set something up, Lisa. Maybe we'll do a Halloween party. How about we could do a Halloween party where people could like wear a mask if they don't necessarily want to be on the screen, or they can dress up all funny, or they can not dress up at all. But maybe we'll do that. Like a Halloween party on the Discords. I think that could work actually. Sashina, you gonna help me? Well, I actually don't think it would be that difficult to organize. Check the Discord. Okay, I will check the Discord. I will check the Discord. Mayor, I was just saying that, Mikey, great job last night with the slap fighting. That's actually, it's very impressive because there are people in here that would never normally watch slap fighting. You don't have to video chat, Vicky. You can also just come and voice chat or just text in the chat and have a good time. And that's really why I was suggesting doing it for Halloween, because then you can sort of cover your face if you guys want in a fun way. But also you don't have to be on, you don't have to, yeah. It's pretty chill. We could even stream it. Well, whatever. We'll talk about it later. But the slap fighting was very, very, very interesting. But I have questions. I have many questions I would have been asking all throughout it. And yeah, just many questions about the slap fighting. But it was actually pretty good. Although I don't understand a few things. The barefoot people, I don't understand. But, and also, how come sometimes they like literally get knocked out after being slapped? But anyways, it was very good to watch in the middle of my journey through from the US to Canada. Very like reminiscent of the United States. Lisa, I'm talking about a slap. It's a show that Mikey did on his channel yesterday, which we already talked about earlier. I've challenged you to make 500 commands. Did I? Good. We have lots and lots of commands. We should put in a slap fighting command. But I can't think of one right now because I'm very tired. And even my makeup barely covers my tired eyes. Okay, so we will do a Halloween party online on the Discords. We'll broadcast some of it to the YouTubes as well, so that it will be fun for people that don't want to do Discord. That's a thing now. Sashina will remind me. Thank you, Lisa. I know I'm beautiful. I do appreciate it. Thank you. But and I still feel nice and vacation-y tanned. You can't quite see it. This lighting's still fucked up, but don't worry. I'll be keeping this up in a way. We'll figure it out. Anyways, I really do love you guys. Please have a wonderful night. Stay around if they sorry, my brain is really not working. Like the video, subscribe. Remember that I love you, I'm proud of you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. I don't know if Larry Beaver and Georgia are hanging out, but I hope them both good luck and the best in their journeys. Bye.